What's up, everybody? It's your boy Black Knight on One here, back at it again with another video. And today we went deep down the Reddit rabbit hole to read some of the craziest stories and confessions that I can find. And as we read through these stories together, get ready for some laughs, some surprises, and a whole lot of moments that'll make you say,
"What the fuck? Stop playing! What the fuck? Stop playing with me!"
If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to subscribe and leave a comment down below of what you want to see me do next. And without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, y'all, we're here on the Nuclear Revenge subreddit, and I have a few stories set to the side that we're gonna read, but we'll start out with this one because yikes, she cheated on me, so I had a threesome with her former ex-boyfriend and the guy she cheated on me with. I have so many questions to start out, but let's just get into it. To clear up any confusion that might come up, you have to know that I'm a bisexual man. Okay, that was the first question that I had. I love sharing this story because I'm still proud of it. Okay. I feel like kind of scared going into this for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just treading lightly here. Okay. A few years ago, my ex-girlfriend cheated on me with another guy. She then had the audacity to tell me that if I was a grown-up, that I could deal with it, and that she hopes we can still be friends, but she lost any feelings for me and is fully in love with this new guy now. That's okay. That's a lot. You don't read ahead. If you're reading ahead, stop it. Okay, blah, 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 where was I? If she hadn't said that, I probably wouldn't have made this plan. But now I had to teach her a valuable lesson. I was in a depressed state for a long time and couldn't bring myself to delete her number. And she thought I was her friend now. She started to send me pictures of her and her new boyfriend with laughing emojis. She didn't even care about how much she hurt. Oh, that sucks. Poor guy. And then one day while I went through Tinder, I found someone who was quite familiar. Her new boyfriend. Of course, I wouldn't tell her that her new boyfriend is on Tinder. In fact, I matched with him, which was quite surprising because I thought he was straight and we started a conversation. He didn't know who I was. She never told him she was in a relationship while she was flirting with him. But this was perfect. We had longer conversations and he told me more and more about him. Sorry, I feel like I'm reading in front of the class right now. I'm not cutting this out of the video, by the way. I'm not going to redo this. I'm reading this one time through one take Drake. Anyway. Over the weeks, we learned more and more about each other, and now I had a plan. I suggested that we could meet each other at a bar. He agreed. Keep in mind, he was still in a relationship with my ex-girlfriend at the time. When we met, we had a great time, and one date became many dates. It took me a few months, but then I got him to the point where he developed feelings for me, and I was his affair. What he didn't know, I got in contact with my girlfriend's former ex-boyfriend as well. He broke up with her because he came out as gay. I was in contact with both guys. The ex-boyfriend and I got along very well. In fact, I made him a close friend of mine. In our conversations with my new boyfriend, we talked about sexual desires, and he told me that he always wanted to have a threesome. So I suggested one with the gay ex-boyfriend. I knew that, I don't know why I'm giggling a little bit. I need to grow up. I knew that he was his type because we kind of look alike and he had feelings for me. So I asked the gay ex-boyfriend if he wanted to become the third one. And to my surprise, he said yes. I'm honestly still surprised how all of that worked out with her noticing it, but it did. And then the day came where I decided to go nuclear. The two guys came to my apartment. I led them to the bedroom and they started talking to each other. While they talked, I took a selfie from a safe distance, close enough that she could... Oh, he's going to send the picture to her. Oh, no. Close enough that she could see their faces, but far enough that they wouldn't notice. Then oh, my God. Okay. Please. I should have I hope I put a warning at the beginning of this. If I didn't, here's even more of a warning because it sounds like it's going to get graphic. Yikes. Okay. Ew. Of course, I won't go into any detail. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I thought I was going to hear some crazy shit. I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Ooh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, of course, I won't go into any detail, but damn, I enjoyed it more than anything in the world. A few days after this, I told him that now that I granted him the wish of a threesome, I wanted something in return. I told him that I don't want to be in an affair any longer and told him that he should either break up with her or I will break up with him. I knew it was hardcore manipulative, but I had a plan and I had the full control over him. He actually broke up with her. Oh, and threw her out. Damn, okay. I even got him to move out of his apartment to move in with me, meaning that she lost both her home and her boyfriend, but I wasn't done yet. Okay, hold on. Hold the phone here. Let me find my mouse. I'm only switching screens because I don't want you reading ahead. More than you probably already have been. We'll come up with a better format for this later. But that's insane. It could just stop there. I feel like because this isn't my first time on the nuclear revenge subreddit, obviously. But I feel like in the times that I've read the stories on this subreddit, it's always people that just continue to go farther and farther and crazier and crazier. He could have stopped there. He could have just sent the picture like with the two dudes and been done, but he got her kicked out of the apartment. And do you even have feelings for the guy that you made break up with her? Okay, let's get into it. I'm sorry. Okay, where was I? Because after that, she texted me with crying emojis that her boyfriend dumped her and that she has regrets leaving me. I then said,
"Your boyfriend? Are you talking about this guy?"
And I sent her the selfie I took. She called and texted me several times, but I ignored her. My plan was almost successful. There were only 3 things that I still had to do. Whoa, okay. The first was that I told her mother, who hates infidelity more than anything because her father cheated on her mother with another woman. You could say like father, like daughter. Her mother was angry, but thanked me for telling her. From what I've heard is that her mother cut ties with her. But I admit that I don't know if that actually happened. And I don't think that it happened. But it would be funny if it was true. That's so fucked up. The second thing I did was dumping him because unfortunately for him, he was a cheater too. And I hate infidelity as well. The last thing I did was going out with the gay ex-boyfriend, and after a few dates, we got together and are still a couple. That's the only light at the end of the tunnel of this first story. This is crazy. In the end, I destroyed both her and the guy she cheated on me with and couldn't be more proud of myself. Edit. Okay, for some reason I still get too many messages. No the fuck. I will not tell you the details about my threesome, you horny motherfuckers. So stop asking. Yikes, dude. Yikes. That's crazy, bro. Holy shit. Okay. So I have thoughts. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna read I'm coming up with this as I go. We're gonna read the story and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on it before we get into the next one. First of all, like I said before, that could have just ended there. It could have ended at the threesome. I don't know if you can say that word on YouTube. I have to look into that. If you can't say that word on YouTube, I've been censoring that out this whole time. But that's besides the point. It could have ended there. But you had to keep going. Continuing. That's just insane to me. You got her kicked out, possibly disowned by her mom, and you broke up with the other guy anyway. Good for you that you ended up with the gay ex-boyfriend, but a part of me thinks maybe that relationship, like, okay, I have so many questions, like, does the ex-boyfriend know that that's how this started? Was a whole revenge plot? Is the ex-boyfriend okay with that if he doesn't know? Are you okay with living a lie, with not letting the ex-boyfriend know this whole thing started because you're trying to get revenge on this bitch? And where is she now? I need a where are they now story for this girl. Like, did things get better? Did she get a new place to live? Are her mother and her on good terms? I have so many questions. But hey, it's nuclear revenge. It's not no little boy shit. You know what I mean? There's some big boy revenge here. And I'm just speechless, honestly. That was crazy. Let's read some of these comments real quick. Let's see. I keep having to find my mouse. Okay. Let's see. Maybe Hallmark could make a holiday story out of this.
I made my ex's boyfriend her ex-boyfriend by lying about wanting to be his boyfriend while not telling him I was his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend. Then I made my ex-girlfriend's ex-boyfriend my now boyfriend.
We'll call it cocked, blocked, locked, or web of dicks. Web of dicks. Cockbox and smoking 2 barrels. Running a train spotting. Okay, is that what all the comments are? Cock talking 2 smoking bears. The 3 princes and a girl. A very special Christmas. This is all the comments are. This is my... I skimmed through the story a little bit. I didn't read to the end, but I did. This is my first time reading the comments. That's crazy. There are only 5 different words in that sentence. How is it so long? Let's keep going. Is every single comment in relation to that? The classic fortune. Wait, okay. Do I believe it? Kinda. Is it possible? Yes. Do I want it to be real? Yes. Yes, I do. Dude did not let her slide. Man really hit her with the Ebenezer Scrooge. Past, present. That is true. That is true. Past, present, future, dog. That's crazy. This dude did it. The classic 4chan. She cheated on me with another guy. What do you think, guys? Response: him to assert dominance. He actually did it. Mad lad. What a chump. Hats off to him. She will never forget this. Ebenezer Splooge? Ebenezer Splooge, bro? That's crazy. Casual. Oh wait, okay. As soon as casual sex gets talked about like it's actually possible, Reddit is quick to call it fake. Go figure. Casual sex is not what made me question the plan. It's the plan had so many moving parts to it and nothing went wrong. I give it a 85% chance of being real, 5% exaggerated, and 10% fake. Okay, I honestly didn't even think of the possibility that this story could be fake, first of all. Second of all, that is a good point because it has so many moving parts. Everything had to have fallen into place perfectly. Like, you had to have been in the most perfect spot for them to not see you take that picture. They had to, like, the ex-boyfriend had to have not been on speaking terms with the ex-girlfriend. I'm trying to get all these moving parts. The gay ex-boyfriend had to have been on like 0 speaking terms with this girl because God forbid he mentions that to her. None of them. She has to be so good at keeping this like cheating secrets alive that no one knows about each other. And it's just the fact that they were down for the threesome. What if they weren't down? Then what would have happened? Like, what was the plan B is what I need to know. I feel like there's a lot of unanswered questions here. I haven't seen anything with OP in the comments since the beginning of the... Oh, wait, here we go. To be fair, you're not the first one who thought that. I told this story to some of my friends, and them also didn't believe it at first, until I showed them the selfie. I'll show this... Oh, okay. That's not cool. I don't like that. On that note, let's get to a different Reddit story. Let's call it quits. Okay? Okay. We're back. And sorry, just had to move the mic. For you, it's been a couple of seconds. For me, it's been a couple of minutes. I had to walk out of the room and cleanse my palate real quick as far as content. So I'm not continuously reading crazy up stories back to back. But we're here. And I've only read the title of this one. I didn't skim through this one. I've only read the title, and this is ridiculous. These stories are... I know the title of the last one. It was probably on here, actually. Yeah, excuse me, Satan. I think you're in my seat. That's gonna be the last one. That one sounds crazy, especially because it's a mod's favorite. But let's get into this one. I'm kind of scared to click this button for some reason. Let's go. Okay. For context, it was her cousin-in-law. Let's start this story by saying this happened 12 years ago. I'm now happily married with 3 children and regret absolutely nothing. I was with my ex for 3 years. I had noticed that she was being extremely controlling. I was expected to give every little detail of my day and tell her my schedule in advance. And if I deviated from that, she would be very upset. She chalked it up to bad feelings she was just having and shrugged it off as her paranoia from past relationships of infidelity. I had never once cheated or strayed, and I had never given a reason to act like this. It felt unbecoming of my fiance to act in such a way. Now this is where it gets juicy. After she asked for my schedule to make plans, as mine tends to be more hectic than hers, I noticed that she was texting someone in my line of work if I put in more than 40 hours. Sorry. I continued. I made that a run-on sentence. In my line of work, if I put in more than 40 hours, I have the ability to take time off at will as long as the work is completed at a later date. I was very good friends with her brother and still am. We laugh about this to this day, and he actively reminds her of it. I messaged him stating I wanted to do something special for her a little bit earlier than our anniversary to make sure it was a special surprise. They both worked in the same fabrication facility. He was a fabricator and she was a shipping manager. He was kind enough to let me know her schedule. That's where the discrepancy falls into place. Without my knowledge, she was foregoing overtime. She worked 12-hour shifts Monday through Friday, with the exception of Wednesday, when she would only work half a day. She had been taking Wednesdays off right around the time she started getting extremely controlling. Lucky for me, I had stacked several days of leisure time up, so taking a Wednesday off for me was not an issue. A few days go by and Wednesday's here. I put on my work gear and leave for work. I was expecting her to leave as our apartment complex has had 2 exits on the same road. I could see directly across from a shopping center, so I parked my car near the back and waited. After about an hour, I noticed a very specific red Mustang with a specific decal in the back window. It was her cousin by marriage. I had also done my due diligence to take an old laptop, which we kept on our desk in an office area with full view of the living room, bedroom door, and bathroom, plus the kitchen. I had set it up for remote access and had it alert me when the webcam noticed movement. Giving her the benefit of the doubt, I thought maybe he's dropping something off or coming over to assist her with something, as her family sometimes does. Sure enough, a message came through, so I remote into my laptop. He walks through the door without skipping a beat. I've read ahead a little bit. That's fucking crazy what I'm about to read. Jesus. She unbuttons his shirt and begins kissing him. I created a URL link for the live stream and she was preoccupied. We had a family group text and a friend group text. They were both a part of it, but at the current time, they were currently indisposed and didn't look at their phones. They didn't even wait. They could have gone to the bedroom, but no. They decided to get freaky deaky right there on the couch. I sent the link. Yikes. Okay. I sent the link out to my friend group chat and the family group chat. Within minutes, I'm getting calls non-stop from friends and family alike. There was no turning back. She was getting blown up, but she was ignoring her phone. Not until the 4th or 5th call came through did they decide to take a break. Oh my God. For God's sake. This state I live in allows recording of personal property regardless of occupancy. I was the only one on the lease. She wasn't allowed to be on the lease because of poor credit. The call she had picked up was from her cousin's mother, who she was... What? Oh, sorry. I got confused for a second. I thought she was banging the mom, too. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this bitch is crazy. Who she was banging. She answers the phone on speaker, and I kid you not, the first words that come out of this mother's mouth were, "Stop f***ing my son." They both became rigid, and she began to stutter over her words, saying,
But what are you talking about?
etc. The mother then divulged that there was a live feed of them sent out by me to her family. She grabbed every pillow off the couch and covered herself up. The cousin staggered off trying to put on his pants and shoes just to trip himself up and bang his head off my coffee table. Ooh, yikes. Leaving it with a divot. By this time, I had made my way to the front of the apartment complex. I was there to greet the adulterer as he came out of the front exit. He froze and began to cry, apologizing profusely. I'm not going to lie, what happened afterwards wasn't my best moment. I nearly got into legal trouble if it weren't for the fact that he was trespassing on private property. Let's just say I had a cast for 6 weeks and he wasn't in any family photos for months. I went up to the apartment where she was now fully clothed and crying inconsolably. I asked, Oh, wow. That's disgusting. I asked her if that was snot or on her face. Then I told her not to answer because it didn't matter anyway. I gave her 1 hour to remove all of her belongings, as again, everything in the apartment was mine except for clothes, some makeup, and a few kitchen utensils. Her mother would not let her move in as she was just filled with embarrassment. Same for her brothers, and the cousin's mother kicked her son out. Rumors spread around our town very quickly, and for lack of a better word, she was untouchable. Edited, supplying proof for the naysayers, eat your heart out. I couldn't find my digital scan of the theft of property for my cat. My apologies. I'm not clicking these random links. I'm sorry. That's sketchy to me. Let's read the comments first, and then I'll consider reading those or clicking on one of these links. Can't wait to hear Microsoft Sam read this to me as I work. Is that snot or on your face? Beautiful, man. Just beautiful. Should I NSFW tag it? Let me think. Is that snot or on your face? I'm censoring out that word. Yeah, you should definitely NSFW tag it. Are you crazy? It's not necessary. Oh man, I think it's into this territory. There's some out of there who would. Nah, that's just a little mayo from my sandwich. Ew, that's gross. These comments are gross. I agree, this hits to the top of the comebacks. That's hilarious. Dude, what happened next? Oh, this is a good one. She wouldn't give up a spare key while I was at work one day. She tried to take my cat and get it euthanized. Luckily, the vet she brought it to checked it for a chip, which I had gotten for her before we even started our relationship. The vet called me to confirm. I put a stop to it before she did anything. I asked the receptionist to confirm that it was a brunette woman with large boobs. She did. I explained the situation and what had happened. The receptionist, who was low-key a pothead, ran into the same circles as I, so I asked her to call her cousin that started a whole new can of worms, but eventually started threatening me to file charges on theft of property, and the vet threatening to have her arrested under cruelty to animals. She is a piece of shit. She was for a while. She moved out of state and married a firefighter, where she's now an EMT paramedic in Louisiana, where they like to cousins anyway. At least that's what her wedding invitation said, and her brother confirmed. Where they like to cousins anyway. It didn't say that. I got you covered, boo. I only have poor woman's gold to offer, but please take it with my thanks. Sheesh, man. That's insane, Brody. Yikes. I don't know what to say, honestly. That was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. That was the funniest one that I've ever read on this subreddit. Because of the snot thing, that was funny as fuck. And the fact that the family is watching this shit and they're like, oh my god, what are you doing to my son? What are you doing? Oh my god, stop it! That's just funny. I have no words. I am speechless after that. Whew, man. Yeah, that was crazy. At first, I'm reading this story and I'm like, okay, why are you giving us all these details about the fabrication work and blah, 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 all this stuff. But it escalated very quickly, number one. Number two, that was hilarious. So thank you to Big Jer 2007. Oh my god. Okay, let's get into this next one, which I'm so scared to get into. Okay. Last one for this video. By the way, if you're liking this video so far, please like and subscribe and comment down below of how you're feeling at this moment. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're loving this video and sharing it with all of your friends on the Facebooks, on the Twitters, or the X's, on the threads, all that good stuff. But anyway, that's besides the point. This was recommended to me by a friend of mine who I told I was making this video, number one. And they said because of what they read, because of that it's a mod's favorite, that I should buckle up, and you should too. So if we're both ready, let's do this. I'm gonna click it like a remote. It didn't work. There we go. I'm going to start off this story by saying that this is absolutely not one of my most shining moral moments, and that I'm well aware that I was a straight up asshole for doing what I did. My only real defense is that I was in super bad place mentally and needed a mountain's worth of therapy. If you're curious about the circumstances around her, check my profile. Bitch was evil in human form. Now on with the revenge. Okay, it's a little preview. This is posted by someone named A Vicious Tradition, by the way. Let's keep going. I was a weird kid growing up, really weird. It was mostly because I was being abused at home and forcibly isolated. My social skills were so underdeveloped that I had difficulty reading human faces aside from my grandmother, grandfather, and father. Okay, that's okay. Sorry to this man. Being the weird kid meant that I was a juicy target for bullies. It never stopped, but there was one bully that I hated more than any of the others. We'll call her Holly. This girl never passed up an opportunity to make my life hell, and since she lived across the street from me, there was nowhere I could avoid her. Holly treated me like garbage. Here are a few examples. She put dog crap in our mailbox on a regular basis. She let my dog out of my yard, and I was never... Oh, that sucks. Poor doggy. I was never able to get her back. She would also sit on her porch with her friends and roast the hell out of me to entertain them. If I so much as put a toe outside of my front door. It went on for years. I hated her with the fiery passion of 1,000 suns. But while grandmother was still alive, there was nothing I could do about Holly. If I did anything to her or fought back in any way, my grandmother would punish me for it, and I was more afraid of her than I was of Holly, for a very good reason. I'm so scared. So I made a plan. I suffered through all the abuse and promised myself that when I was older, I would make Holly pay for what she did to me. Thinking what I was going to do to her when the time was right was sometimes the only thing that kept me going. Ooh, there's a lot of build up here. Over time, Holly grew up and eventually she left me alone and stopped being an asshole. Unfortunately for her, by then it was too late. I didn't give a shit about her new moral epiphany. I had been nursing my grudge for 2 decades and it was time for a reckoning. I was going to destroy that bitch. Okay. I hope this isn't like a crime that's about to happen. When my grandmother finally died, it was go time, and I had 20 years to plan. I wasn't idle while I waited. I'd made it my mission in life to learn as much about Holly as possible, and to do it, I became friends with a few people on the periphery of our social circle. I hope I said that word right. I kind of killed that word, periphery? If I said that right. Okay, I guess we'll see. Eventually, I knew more about her and her life than her own mother did. The first step I took in my plan was getting her fired from her job. It took longer than I would have liked, but eventually I managed it. Holly worked at a doctor's office, and I knew that doctor she worked for was super Christian, very straight edge, upstanding type of guy. He also had a huge influence on the local community. I decided to become a patient at his office, scheduling my visits to be on the days Holly was off. Ooh, shit, you got some. Okay. After a couple of visits, I just happened to notice Holly in the staff photo on the waiting room wall. I made a show of looking surprised and then concerned. I got to the exam room and the doctor came in shortly. The expression on my face got his attention and he asked me, "What's wrong?" I told him that even though I didn't want to, as a Christian, I couldn't keep my knowledge a secret and still sleep at night because I just couldn't let him endanger his soul and reputation by doing nothing. I had his full attention. Then I asked him, as one fellow Christian to another, not to tell anyone where he got the information I was about to give him. After he promised he would, I told him that I knew that Holly was using illegal drugs. He was absolutely floored at first, and he didn't believe me. I told him that I understood his skepticism entirely, but it was easy enough to prove or disprove my information with a drug test. If I was wrong, he lost nothing. If I was right, he was saving himself from trouble down the road. He finally agreed to test her, and he tested everyone else too, so that it didn't look like Holly was the only target. Okay, before we go any farther, my question is, did you drug Holly? That's my question. Wow. Okay. Because how do you know she's going to fail the drug test, though? Okay, let's keep going. Or did I miss something? Got the information. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. I need to know how this person knows that Holly's going to fail the drug test. And I'm saying this person because they haven't mentioned if they're a man or a woman yet. So I'm assuming it's a girl, but it could be a guy. I don't know. Let's keep going. See, I wasn't actually lying. Every time I get ready to question something, I get it answered. I might as well just keep that shit to myself. Holly smoked a shitload of weed, and I knew it because it was my dad she used to get it from. He'd been her weed dude since she was like 15. Her test came back positive for marijuana, and much to my surprise, Xanax. Damn, she popping Xannies? Bitch, I'm popping Xannies, huh? Bitch, take off your panties, huh? That's besides the point. I'm sorry. Oopsie, the doctor fired Holly on the spot when the results of the urine analysis came back, and then he called me to thank me for telling him what was going on. And before he hung up, he told me that I truly walked with the Lord. It's heavy. Y'all will never know how hard I had to fight not to laugh at the depths of his wrongness. I thought I was going to pop a blood vessel. Well, you playing with Jesus now? That's not cool, girl. Yikes. Okay. Phase 1 complete. I know what you're thinking. It's just a job and she can go get another one, right? Losing a job isn't the end of the world. You'd be wrong. Oh shit. I thought we were coming to an end. That felt like the end. Okay. Remember how I said that her boss had a very high reputation in our area? That man called every single hospital and doctor's office in the state personally to make sure that none of them would hire Holly and risk liability and loss of community trust for associating with her. Holly's field of study was all pertaining to the medical profession, so her education was rendered worthless because nobody would hire her. I wasn't done yet. Not even close. Okay, I'm noticing a theme here with these Reddit stories. She lost her job, and because she had no income, her car got repossessed. She still had her family, though, 2 kids and a fiance. Who needs families? Am I right? Oh, this is giving me like such a headache, dude. Just stop it there. Like, just stop it. Story over. Okay, let's keep going. With the help of a good friend of mine, we catfished the fuck out of her fiance. My friend is hot as fuck, and she let me use pictures of her to prove that she was really real. She even got on Skype with him once. When he had finally made the arrangements for a face-to-face encounter and booked a hotel room, I texted screenshots of everything to Holly from a burner number. To say the excrement impacted I'm reading that word right. To say the excrement impacted the oscillating unit would be, oh, the shit hit the fan. Okay, you got me back. That was a good one. That was good. Okay. Will be a vast understatement. They broke up. The wild thing was an ordeal, or the whole thing, I'm assuming that's what you mean, was an ordeal, and Holly was devastated. She had 2 kids, no job, and now no fiance who could help her keep the family afloat. Damn, that's fucked up. Oh, wait. Okay, keeps going. A normal person would have stopped. Unfortunately, I am not normal, and I was going full scorched earth. I seethed for 20 years. No way in hell I was going easy on her. Phase 3. With her fiance gone and no job, Holly was struggling badly. She needed money, and she needed it quick before she and the kids got evicted. Meth is a giant problem. Oh, meth? Okay. Oh wow, okay, that caught me off guard. It's high risk, but it's also fast money, so I started subtly mentioning Holly's situation among my more legally questionable family. Eventually, one of my family's friends who happened to be a meth cook got in contact with Holly and offered her a shitload of cash to let him cook dope at her house. It was supposed to be a one-time thing, 2 days, and then done forever. Holly was so desperate, she said yes. Everything went smoothly at first, but dead in the middle of the cook, someone called in an anonymous tip about an active cook in progress to the local narcotics unit. Jesus Christ, I wonder who that someone was. They rolled up on Holly's house at about 3 a.m. and caught everybody inside, including Holly, red-handed, making meth. Watching her cry, then they handcuffed her and put her in that police cruiser was one of the most gloriously satisfying moments of my life. She was in deep legal doo-doo, and to make a bad situation even worse, most houses where labs are discovered aren't deemed habitable afterwards because the toxic fumes from the chemicals used to make the drug get everywhere, and it's super hard and time consuming to clean. It's up to the property owner to either hire a hazmat team to clean it or condemn it and tear it down. A lab cleanup costs thousands of dollars. It would have cost more money to clean it than the entire property was worth. So it got torn down with everything Holly owns still inside. Oh, damn, okay. See, you can't take things out of a meth lab because they're going to be covered in toxic residue. It can make you very sick, especially young children. Everything in the residence is usually counted as a loss. Now, some people sneak in and grab stuff anyway. But whatever, it's their funeral, but since Holly was sitting in jail, there was no way for her to get anything, and none of her close family were interested in risking getting caught sneaking into the house and being accused of stealing or tampering with a crime scene. Holly ended up in jail for a while, and while she was gone, the court gave their father, ex-fiance, sole custody of the children, and Holly was only given supervised visitation, 2 hours every Saturday if I recall correctly. Revenge is a dish best served cold, and mine was freezing. I was behind every single bad thing that happened in Holly's life in one way or another for an entire year period. She decided she liked bullying me and making my life hell, and she figures there would never be any consequences. Instead, I took her reputation, her job, her fiance, got her arrested and convicted of a felony, and her children taken from her. And the best part is she had no clue that I did it to this very day. She'd forgotten about me. What she did impacted my life forever. But to her, it wasn't even important enough to her bother remembering. I was nothing to her, so she never connected me with her problem. Last I heard, she was in rehab for alcoholism and had her parental rights terminated permanently. After she lost her kids, she just sort of gave up and crawled into a bottle and never came out again. I was tempted to tell her, but I decided that helplessness and confusion about why everything suddenly went to hell in a handbasket was the better plan, because that means that every now and then I can contact her and pretend to give a shit about her troubles to get a fresh revenge boner about her newest. Also, is it a guy? Whoa, that makes it different for me for some reason. She thinks I'm the nicest person she's ever met. Ooh. Oh wait. Oh, okay. There's an edit. A lot of people are under the impression that the thing. Wait, hold on. Let me go back. A lot of people are under the impression that the things Holly did to me were minor and didn't merit my reaction because the ones I spoke about were small. I guess I was trying to make myself a little less pathetic in front of people. She did way more to me than the specifics I mentioned. It's just embarrassing to admit to being weak enough that she could do it to me at all. She beat my ass more than a few times. Once she and her friends force-fed me shit. Actual shit. No, I don't know what kind. She shoved me down an embankment and I chipped my front tooth on a center block. The list goes on, and I don't really feel like going into it, but suffice it to say, it wasn't just teasing. It doesn't make what I did much better, but I didn't do it over something minor. I am also a female. Oh, thank God you answered that question. That was bothering the hell out of me. Revenge boner is a very specific term for you as a female, but anybody can use that term, and I was so confused. Okay. Feel better now. Also, we lived in a trailer park, which is why they tore the house down rather than clean it. Her house wasn't more than $3,000 on its best day. Those are all the details I intend to add here, as in any others would make things too specific. Wowie, wow, wow. Okay. That got dark at the end. First of all, let's just acknowledge that. Let's take a breather on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that story was a roller coaster and it got very dark at the end. Wow. Okay. We'll read some of the comments on here, but my first thing before I read these comments are number one, is anyone questioning the validity of this story specifically. The reason I said that is because there were weird details left out until the edit. Like, the edit conveniently answered a lot of questions. Because I was going to say that if the story ended there without that edit, I was going to be like, that feels too far. But she explained why it wasn't too far, and she gave details that she left out. For her to say, I guess I was trying to make myself a little less pathetic in front of people, doesn't make sense to me. The reason I say that is because if you're on a Reddit that's dedicated to revenge, I feel like you would be more concerned about justifying the revenge, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know. Comment down below if you think I'm wrong, but I feel like that just is something's not adding up. The math is not mathing right now. You know what I mean? Because it just, I don't know. It just feels specific. It just feels like things that she just made up. And I kind of don't even, I don't know. I kind of don't even believe this is a girl. And the shit part is insane. If this is true, that was a lot. You make this bitch go to jail. Yeah, that's a lot. But, because I was getting ready to say she kind of deserved it. But that's crazy. Man. And this is another case of everything has to fall into place perfectly, because who's to say that the day that you bring that up, Holly doesn't start coming to work on her off day or so, for some reason. Like, I don't know how those dentist office work, but who's to say that she has the same schedule every week? How are you finding out her schedule? I don't really get that part. Like, if you had found out everything you could about Holly, I understand that part. But I feel like if you're asking about Holly's schedule, someone would have brought that up to Holly. That makes no sense to me. I hate to burst our bubble here, guys, but I'm getting an alarm here. I don't think the story's real. We're gonna read the comments to see if anybody agrees with me. If not, that's okay. I'm hoping Original Poster says some more stuff in the comments to convince me that this is real, but I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe, guys. I'm just not. But let's read the comments. Okay, this is some nuclear revenge, but shit, man. I know your reasoning, but I still gotta say this is up. If you think this is bad, you should have seen the ideas I decided were just too much and too far to be okay with. This was actually the restrained, carefully executed, and entirely legal version of my plan. At least it was legal, so even if it is tracked to you, cops can't do anything. Technically speaking,
Every action I took was a positive one, from the outside anyway. To someone who didn't know our history, I was only a concerned citizen who knew that a medical professional was using illegal drugs and reported it to their proper authorities. And you're supposed to report illegal drug manufacturers, because making drugs is illegal. Nobody actually slept with her fiance either. We just informed her what she'd been up to. It was his choice to try to cheat. As for losing her kids, she had every intention of bringing them back into the home where she had spent the last 48 hours cooking meth, even though she could have gotten them back if she had followed the court order and she was given when she was out of jail. I didn't actually do anything to her. She did it all to herself. If she hadn't smoked weed and done pills, she would have passed her drug test. If she sat down and talked to her fiance, they could have possibly worked things out. But even then, a breakup isn't really a huge deal. She chose to let them use her house to cook in. What changes everything is knowing why I did everything. It's about perspective and motive.
if you don't mind, could you tell us the things you thought were too much? Nah, they were inappropriate and too extreme. I prefer to stay well within the confines of the law. Less messy that way. I don't know why I've given OP that voice, but I just think it fits for the way that they're commenting here. It's no fun getting revenge if you end up enjoying it behind bars. Or at least that's how I feel about it. Oh no, you're completely right. I'm not reading this whole conversation. Let's go. Sorry. Let's go. What were the other far too gone ways? Inappropriate and unacceptable.
If she didn't do drugs while working for a religious medical professional with influence in the town, she wouldn't have been fired. Lesson here is don't bully and terrorize people because you never know if it will come back to seek revenge.
Okay, that's a lesson or message. I don't know. I'm feeling like, I don't know. I'm feeling a little iffy about this one. The line about the revenge boner makes me think that you may still need therapy. Have you told a therapist about doing this? That's a really good question. I'm actually in therapy now. I'm also calling to move my next appointment up because I've had a couple of interesting personal advancements in understanding my own motivations from some people in this thread. This thread literally accomplished more for my self-understanding in a few hours than 3 years of therapy. Let's see if OP keeps coming back. Okay, man, I give you props for a clean revenge. I mean, it had no blowback on you and no one would ever suspect you. No disrespect if you thought I was. What? Oh, it must be something here. No problem. I didn't take offense. You were wrong. You aren't wrong about it being up. It was. Oh wait, whoa. It was up, but I know how you feel. At this point in my life, the entire class views me as a joke. This person must be in high school. I got a good friend group though, but there is always someone who can't wait to fuck up. I'm just waiting for the time to come and just laugh as if life falls apart. Yikes. I'll tell you now, there's no better feeling. If you do it right, it will be more satisfying than any sex you'll ever have. Be patient, plan carefully, and always let them hang themselves. Thanks for the advice. The person I'm talking about has anger issues and has some other problems, so once he runs out of people to run to, it comes to me, I'm just gonna slam my door in his face and remember the years of how he treated me. Learn his rage buttons. The more you know about him, the easier it is to predict the things he'll do and manipulate things in your own favor. Above all, never risk yourself and never break the law. Revenge is no fun if you're sitting in a jail cell and they walk away scot-free. Yeah, I don't believe this shit. I think this is some sick fuck behind a computer screen trying to, like, some revenge fantasy. Because number one, there's a lot of details of this story that sound fishy to me. Number two, you say you're in therapy. Wait, hold on. Let me read the dates on this because that was 4 years ago. Damn, this was 4 years ago this happened? It's crazy. When's the one about therapy? Oh, it tells me the exact date, June 15th, 2019. June 15th, 2019. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that you say you're in therapy and you've had this huge epiphany, but you're telling someone who's obviously in high school. The fact that he said the entire class views me as a joke. That revenge is so satisfying that it'll be better than any sex you'll ever have. Come on, dude. That's up. This is a kid. And the fact that the guy is like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait for him to come to me for advice and I'm just gonna slam my door in his face. No one's gonna blame you for that. But then OP comes in, talks about manipulating the person. I don't like that. I don't like that. I hate that. I hate that. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep reading these. It's pissing me off now. Well, okay, y'all. I hope you enjoyed this one. This was totally different for me. I had a really good time reading the Reddit stories. It was funny at some points, really dark at some other ones, and it was just interesting to do something totally different. Even in the way that I'm filming this video. Hold on, let me show you, because I'm filming it using OBS and using my phone as the camera, so that's why I can do this. I can move the thing around. I just keep going, popping it back and forth from over my shoulder. Let's get rid of it though. So yeah, I really had a good time. I feel like this was fun and I hope you feel the same way. If you did, comment down below of how you feel about this video, I guess. Please like the video and share it no matter what. Give other people the chance to give me some feedback. I would really appreciate that, especially with only, what am I at right now, 44 subscribers, I think. It would be cool to learn about how to bring y'all some more content that'll bring more eyes over, create a community, all that fun stuff, and we can have a good time here over on the Black Knight 01 channel. Which brings me to the fact of subscribe if you aren't already. I don't think I said that. If I did, my bad for being redundant, but I don't think I did. Subscribe if you aren't already. Thanks. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today's video. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. We are done. Love y'all.